I walked into the emergency room and was hoisted onto a cart where I was stripped of my clothes. It was then we learned I'd been shot and had a bullet in my lung. Getting shot hurts. Still, my fear was growing because no matter how hard I tried to breathe, it seemed I was getting less and less air. I focused on that tiled ceiling and prayed. But I realized I couldn't ask for God's help, while at the same time I felt hatred for the mixed-up young man who had shot me. Isn't that the meaning of the lost sheep? We are all God's children and therefore equally beloved by Him. I began to pray for his soul and that he would find his way back to the fold. Great things can be accomplished when it doesn't matter who gets the credit. It is up to us in our time to choose, and choose wisely, between the hard but necessary task of preserving peace and freedom, and the temptation to ignore our duty and blindly hope for the best while the enemies of freedom grow stronger day by day. I don't think we'll solve the problem of the deficit until three things happen. We need more discipline on spending in Congress. We need a constitutional amendment requiring Congress to balance the budget. And we need to give our presidents a line-item veto. But our strategy for peace with freedom must also be based on strength, economic strength and military strength. I've learned a few lessons about negotiating. You're unlikely to ever get all you want. You'll probably get more of what you want if you don't issue ultimatums and leave your adversary room to maneuver. You shouldn't back your adversary into a corner, embarrass him, or humiliate him, and sometimes the easiest way to get some things done is for the top people to do them alone and in private. The key for any speaker is to establish his own point of view for the audience, so they can see the game through his eyes. Ending a conflict is not so simple, not just calling it off and coming home. Because the price for that kind of peace could be 1,000 years of darkness for generations Vietnam-born. I believe with all my heart that standing up for America means standing up for the God who has so blessed our land. We need God's help to guide our nation through stormy seas. But we can't expect Him to protect America in a crisis if we just leave Him over on the shelf in our day-to-day living. Speech, New Orleans, November 16, 1982. They preach the supremacy of the state, declare its omnipotence over individual man and predict its eventual domination of all peoples on the earth. They are the focus of evil in the modern world. So, in your discussions of the nuclear freeze proposals, I urge you to beware the temptation of pride, the temptation of blithely declaring yourselves above it all and label both sides equally at fault, to ignore the facts of history and the aggressive impulses of an evil empire, to simply call the arms race a giant misunderstanding and thereby remove yourself from the struggle between right and wrong and good and evil.